So where did blacks go wrong after the civil rights era? Coming right up. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Common Sense Logical Reason. And as always, I want to say thank y'all for joining me today. So, in spite of all of this talk about how the white man is trying to remove black history from America, one of the most widely known aspects of American history is the civil rights era. You know, I always say that the civil rights movement was the right movement at the right time. It was at a time when, black people were treated as second-class citizens. We didn't have a lot of rights. We were barred from certain things, separate but equal and stuff like that, and segregation. There's nobody would disagree that black people were not treated as first-class citizens at a point in time in America. And blacks got fed up. They fought for their rights. They had the nonviolent protests. It was a huge movement. And not just black people participated, white people participated in it. As a result, legislation was passed, civil rights legislation was passed. Blacks started getting rights that we were denied, and now a black person is a full 100% citizen in America. There's nothing being barred from a black person because you're being black. And as a result, we got all the rights, we got all the full rights. And as you look around, everybody pretty much benefits from those full rights. All races of people now benefited from those rights because of the civil rights movement. Hispanics and really any other people from any other religion, any other race comes to America, they all have full rights as a result of the civil rights era and the civil rights legislation. Now here's the problem though. After the civil rights movement, we as blacks, we should have transitioned from the civil rights era to the economic era. Now, unfortunately, this is when the Great Society hit us. The Great Society, as well as the rest of the turbulent 60s, hit us, and this is where we saw the destruction of the black family. As a result of this, blacks have not really progressed anything at all, not much, since the civil rights era. But we're still sitting around marching and protesting, crying about being oppressed, which we're not. Black people are not being any remotely close to being oppressed in America. They're crying for rights that we already have. And they wanted to fight a power that no longer needs to be fought. Like, what power are you fighting? Because technically you are the power. You're just as much as the power as any white person, as any Hispanic person, as any Asian person. So why are you fighting a power that doesn't need to be fought? So we're wasting all of our time and energy crying about oppression. Okay, these blacks keep listening to these race hustlers. And by the way, most of these race hustlers are doing very well for themselves financially while telling black people that they're being disenfranchised and oppressed. I can never understand how black people keep listening to that. Nobody sees that. Like, wait a minute, how you gonna tell me that I'm being held back and oppressed by systematic racism and you're rich? That's ridiculous. That's worse than these mega rich pastors. But if we as black people, we were to take a page from other black people. Hell, if we were to take a page from black people from the past, the black people that built Black Wall Street, that so many black people always crying about. If we today had the spirit of those blacks back then who built Black Wall Street, man, there'll be Black Wall Street all across America. But unfortunately, there's just too much victimhood amongst black people. We have too many problems, the destruction of the black family, most notably. And we're too busy crying about racism and white supremacy to fix the black family and to do what it takes to fix the black family. And this is why every other group of race in America come to this country and prosper, including black people from other countries, and black people still in the same state that we were since pretty much the destruction of the black family. Since the start of the destruction of the black family, we haven't made much progress whatsoever ever since the civil rights era. as a result of this, because like I said, we're too busy wasting all of our time and energy on being victims as opposed to being victors, which we have every opportunity to do so. So this is where we as black people went wrong after the civil rights era. It's time for us to leave the civil rights era behind. Okay, it's celebrated. We still celebrate it today. White people celebrate it. It's taught. But it's time to move on, and it's time to move on to something better. And if we stop with the victimhood, we stop with the nonsense, then we can start really addressing the real problems of the black community. But until we do so, nothing's going to change. And if 200 years from now, if black people are doing the same thing 500 years, we're going to be still crying the same nonsense: racism, white supremacy, structural racism, institutional racism, and bound to Black Wall Street. But anyway, y'all, that's my 2 cents on it. It's really, truly time for black people to leave the past in the past. I didn't say forget the past, but you don't live through the past. Anyway, y'all, as always, 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 until next time.